Hey, dude, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just writing an article about this post on my niche site, but it's like 3:30 a.m. This is the only time I've got to work on it. Dude, we just finished binge watching Stranger Things and then we went out for dinner afterwards. Now you're doing this. Yeah, but I've got to get this done. It's the only chance I'm going to get. Okay, whatever. Just work smart, yeah? Yeah. I'm on it now. I recently published a community poll asking you when you work most on your sites, and the answer surprised me, to be honest, with the overwhelming majority of you choosing whenever you get the chance to work on your niche websites. The problem with this is that it leaves you open to bad habits. Now, I don't care if you're full-time in affiliate or if you're working a full-time job still, habits matter, and the better habits that you've got, the better chances of success you will have. And finding a more consistent pattern to working is going to be more beneficial to your overall success. It's going to improve your mental health and it's going to improve your relationships with others. I get it. We've all got commitments, we've all got friends, families, hobbies, Stranger Things, we've all got loads of stuff going on, but we don't have to choose one over the other, and our relationships can flourish just the same as our websites can. It just takes a little bit of thought. And I've got 3 things that have helped me over the years in order to do this, and even though I'm doing this full time, it can still be difficult. So the first thing is scheduling when to work. It's important to plan your day or your week so you know when is family time, when is date night, when is work time. It doesn't need to be the same time every day of the week, but if you know when you're allocated to be working, then you have that time set aside. And if you communicate that to your significant others, then they're going to appreciate that is the time for you to work. The flip side of this is it's going to also allow you to be more present and in the moment when you are spending time on those hobbies and with your friends and family, and you're not going to feel guilty for spending that time with them. Now, almost a follow-on from scheduling is habit stacking, and this is something that I came across in this book by James Clear called Atomic Habits. I'll link it down in the description below. It really is a remarkable book. It's worth reading. Now, the idea is pretty simple. It's essentially attaching a positive action to a action that you would pretty much automatically take during the day without thinking about it. And what ends up happening is you form a habit that when you take this action, you then take this positive action following it. So for example, it could be something as simple as every time you play on your console for 30 minutes, you follow it up with 30 minutes worth of work. Or each time you make a coffee, you review your to-do list and plan when you're going to work on a specific task. The simple act of habit stacking will eventually create super habits. Now, I'd love to hear in the comments from you guys if you already do any habit stacking or if you've got any good examples of potential habit stacks that you could put forward. Now, the other thing that you can do is you can reverse habit stack. So if you've got some bad habits, then you can attach positive habits as a follow-on to that, or even actions that you might not particularly like to take but are positive in a way. So for example, if you find that you're checking Google Analytics too often, probably that's a fairly negative action. It's not something that you need to be doing all the time. Then you could attach a habit that is going to deter you from doing that. So for example, every time you read Google Analytics or check into your Google Analytics, you make sure that you do 10 or 20 press-ups following on from that. Now, that's either going to stop you from looking at Google Analytics or it's going to get you ripped. But either way, it's going to result in a positive outcome. And my final tip is to batch your work. What do I mean by this? Well, we've probably all heard this before, that when we switch from one task to another, it takes the brain a certain amount of time to refocus. And some studies have shown that it's as much as 23 minutes for the brain to refocus from one task to another. So it makes sense to batch our work into maybe 20 or 30 minute segments and focus on one particular task at that time. So for example, you might say, right, in this 30 minutes, I'm going to work on creating featured images. And in this 30 minutes, I'm going to focus on keyword research, because the brain is going to remain focused on that task and it's not going to get distracted by something else. Now, this can stack too. So you could have a 30-minute segment where you're working on content planning for the next month, followed by 30 minutes where you create the titles for those pieces of content, or you create the affiliate links for those pieces of content. Either way, it's going to help you to stay in a state of flow. Once you've nailed all this time management stuff, make sure you're not making these silly affiliate mistakes to give your site the best chance of success. Guys, thank you for watching and good luck with your projects.